Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet an angelfish. When crocheted using 8-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, the large one, the size is 12.5 centimetres wide by 15 centimetres or 5 inches wide by 6 inches. The medium angelfish crocheted using 4-ply crochet cotton and a 1.5mm hook is 8.5 centimetres wide by 10 centimetres or 3.25 inches wide by 4 inches. This small fish crocheted using 2-ply crochet cotton and a 1mm hook is 7 centimetres wide by 8 centimetres or 2.75 inches wide by 3 inches high. I'll be using Catona cotton today, so the size will be somewhere between the large one and the medium one, but I'll tell you the size at the end of the video. I'm using Catona cotton. I've got 106 Snow White, 208 Yellow Gold and 110 Black. I've got a 2.5mm crochet hook, a darning needle to weave in the ends, sewing thread and a needle to stitch it together, and scissors. Now I'm starting on the head. This mouth part is worked in the neatening row, so I won't work it yet. I've got my 106 the Snow White and I start with 4 chain. For row 1 I miss the first chain and work 1 single crochet in each of the 3 remaining chain. A single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet we put the hook into the stitch, bring through a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through the 2 loops. So 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. For row 2 we start with 2 chain and turn our work. We're going to work 3 half double crochet into the first stitch. A half double crochet is a half treble using UK terms. For a half double crochet we put the yarn around the hook, hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. We needed 3 half double crochet into that first stitch. Then we work 1 single crochet into the next stitch and 3 half double crochet into the last stitch. For row 3 we start with 3 chain and turn our work. We're going to work 2 double crochet into the first stitch. A double crochet is a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet we put the yarn around the hook, hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, take our hook with this yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through the remaining 2 loops. So I need 1 more double crochet in that first stitch. Then I work 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. One single crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. Two half double crochet into the following stitch. And 2 double crochet into our last stitch. And that's our white part done. For this black part, I've got my 110, the black, and I join it in. I'm going to leave quite a long tail, and I'm going to crochet over the top of it to bring it to this other side to use for the neatening row for that little part. So I join it in. I'm going to leave my white attached, and I'm going to use that for the neatening row. So for row 4, I start with 2 chain with my black and turn my work, and I'm crocheting over the top of the tail of the black, my long tail. I work 2 half double crochet into the first stitch, then I'm going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch to the last stitch. I'll work 2 half double crochet into the last stitch, and I'll have 13 stitches. So after my 2 half double crochet into the first stitch, I work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the last stitch. And I work 2 half double crochet into the last stitch. And I've got the tail at the other side. I'm going to leave that there. For row 5, I start with 2 chain and turn. I work 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, then I'll work 1 single crochet into each stitch to the last stitch. I'll work 2 half double crochet in the last stitch, and I'll have 14 stitches. So after my half double crochet in the first stitch, I'll work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the last stitch. And work 2 half double crochet into the last stitch. And that's the first black section done. I'll get the yellow now. Now I'm going to join in the 208, the yellow gold. I'll leave a long tail and crochet over the top of it for the first row to take it to the other side. I'll fasten off the black, but I'll leave a bit of a tail to use for the neatening row. So for row 6, I start with 2 chain and turn my work. I work 2 half double crochet in the first stitch. I'll be working over the top of the tail. And then 1 single crochet into each stitch to the last stitch. I'll work 1 half double crochet into the last stitch and I'll have 15 stitches. So after my 2 half double crochet in the first stitch, I work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the last stitch. And work 1 half double crochet into the last stitch. For row 7 we start with 3 chain and turn. We work 2 double crochet into the first stitch. One half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. Then we work 1 single crochet in each stitch till we have 3 stitches left. We'll work 1 half double crochet into each of the following 2 stitches and 2 double crochet into the last stitch, and we'll have 17 stitches. So after our double crochet and half double crochet, work 1 single crochet in each stitch till you have 3 stitches left. I have 3 stitches left. I work 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches and 2 double crochet into the last stitch. And that's the first yellow part done. I'll fasten off the yellow, leaving a bit of a tail to use for the next part, and I'll fasten off the black, leaving a bit of a tail from the first black part. Now I'm going to join in my black. I'll leave a tail, long tail, to take to the other side for the neatening row. And I work 2 chain. And I turn my work. Working over the top of the black to take it to the other side, I work 2 half double crochet into the first stitch. Then I'll work 1 single crochet into each stitch to the last stitch. I'll work 2 half double crochet into the last stitch, and I'll have 19 stitches. So after my 2 half double crochet in the first stitch, I work 1 single crochet in each stitch to the last stitch. and work 2 half double crochet into the last stitch. For row 9 we start with 3 chain and turn. We work 2 double crochet into the first stitch, one half double crochet into the next stitch, one single crochet into each of the following 4 stitches, one half double crochet into the next stitch, one double crochet into the following stitch, 2 treble into the next stitch. A treble is a double treble using UK terms. For a treble we put the yarn around the hook twice, hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, take our hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 more loops, yarn around the hook and hook with the yarn at the end through the remaining loops. We need one more treble in that stitch. One double crochet into the next stitch, one half double crochet into the following stitch, one single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches, one half double crochet into the following stitch and 2 double crochet into the last stitch. And that's the second black section. I'll fasten off the black, leaving a longer tail to use for the neatening row. Now for the last section I'll join in the yellow gold, but I'll leave a long tail again and crochet over the top of it for the first row to take it to the other side. I work 6 chain. I work 1 slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, so I put my hook into the stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook, 1 single crochet into the next chain, 1 half double crochet into each of the last 3 chain, and 1 half double crochet into the first stitch of row 9. So I spin my work around and crocheting over the top of that yellow tail I work along the black part, so 1 half double crochet into the first stitch. Then I work 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, A joined single crochet over the following 2 stitches. For a joined single crochet, we put our hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the following stitch and bring up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn around the hook and take our hook with the yarn at the end through all the loops. Then we work 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and a joined single crochet over the following 2 stitches. Then we work 1 single crochet and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. 1 half double crochet into the following stitch. 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet into the following stitch. Then a joined single crochet over the next 2 stitches, 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, a joined single crochet over the following 2 stitches, one half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and 2 double crochet into the last stitch. And then we work 6 chain for this last fin section there. For row 11 we work 1 slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, 1 single crochet into the next chain, and 1 half double crochet into each of the last 3 chain. Then we spin our work around and we work 2 half double crochet into the first stitch of row 10. Then 1 half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, one single crochet into each of the following 5 stitches. One single crochet and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the following stitch, 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet into the next stitch. One single crochet into the following stitch, a joined single crochet over the next 2 stitches. Then 1 single crochet into each of the following 6 stitches. and 1 slip stitch into each stitch to this point here. Now that's the body of the fish done. We're going to start at the neatening row. We're going to neaten with the colours of the fish. So we'll start with the yellow. I'm going to make this fin slightly longer, so I'm going to start with 3 chain. I miss the first chain and work 1 slip stitch into each of the 2 remaining chain. And then I'll work a slip stitch into each stitch down to the black. When I get to the black, I leave the yellow and bring the black part to the front and work my slip stitch. And work a slip stitch in the couple of stitches of the black. And when I get to the yellow, I leave the black part and bring up the yellow part I left and work a slip stitch in each stitch across that small yellow part and pull the black tight. And then join in the black. Once I get to the white section, I bring the white through and I work a slip stitch in each stitch up to the first row, and I'll work the mouth then. So I've worked into the first stitch of row 1. I work 3 chain, 1 double crochet in that same stitch, 3 chain and slip stitch in the same stitch. I slip stitch into the next stitch and work 3 chain and work 1 double crochet in the same stitch, 3 chain and slip stitch into that same stitch. And that's the mouth part worked. And then I slip stitch around to the black. And join in the black. And just keep working like that. and I work one slip stitch in each stitch up to the point of the fin, and I fasten off. And that's the fish done, except for the tail and the eye. So I'll weave in all those ends and I'll be back with the black and we'll work the tail. And there's the body part with all the ends woven in. For the tail stump, that little section there, I'm going to join in the middle section there, and I'm going to leave a really long tail at the beginning to work the neatening row right around the tail. And I start with 3 chain and work 2 double crochet into that same stitch, and I fasten off, leaving a little bit of a longer tail just to stitch the other tail section to it. And that's the tail stump. Now for the tail, I've still got my 110, the black, and I start with 13 chain. I work 1 slip stitch in the second chain from the hook, 1 single crochet and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, one half double crochet and 1 double crochet in the following stitch, a half double crochet and single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. One single crochet and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, one half double crochet and 1 double crochet in the following stitch, one half double crochet and a single crochet in the next stitch, and slip stitch into the last stitch and fasten off. Now I'm going to weave in these ends and I'm going to stitch the tail to the end of the stump. The pointy bits point out, so I'll stitch it just in like that, and then I'll be back and we'll do the neatening row. Now I've stitched the end of the tail on. Now I'm going to work a neatening row right around it. I'll bring the yarn I left at the beginning through to the front, and I'm going to work one slip stitch in each stitch up to the point. I want to make my tail just a little bit longer than it is, but if you're happy with your tail, you could just work one slip stitch in each stitch around. When I get to the end of the point, I work 3 chain. I miss the first chain and work one slip stitch in each of the 2 remaining chain, and then work one slip stitch in each stitch round to the end of the next point of the tail, and I'll work the end the same as this end. At the point I work 3 chain, miss the first chain and work one slip stitch in each remaining chain. And then one slip stitch in each stitch down to the body. When I get back to the body, I'll fasten off. And that's the fish and the tail done. For the inner eye, I've got my 110, the black, and I make a magic loop. There's lots of ways to make a magic loop, so make it how you feel most comfortable. I just put my hook on the yarn, bring the short end over the hook and the long end over the short end, yarn around the hook and bring my hook with the yarn at the end through the circle. Then I work 1 chain and I'll work 2 single crochet into the circle. I pull the circle tight so I take hold of the tail and ease it in, and join with a slip stitch in the top of the first stitch. And fasten off. And I've got a tiny circle. For the outer eye, I'll be using my 106, the Snow White, and I make a magic loop. I work 1 chain and 8 half double crochet into my circle. I pull the circle tight and join with the slip stitch in the top of the first stitch and fasten off. And that's a larger circle. Now that's all my pieces worked. I'll just weave in the ends and I'll be back and we'll put it together. Now there's the pieces. I've got the fish, the outer eye and the inner eye. Firstly, I'll embroider a little white dot towards the side of the inner eye, like that one, and then I'll attach the inner eye to the edge of the outer eye, like that. The last thing I do is stitch the eye to the fish, just in about there. So I'll do that and I'll be back to show you the finished angelfish. And there's the finished angelfish. The size is 11 centimetres wide by 12.5 centimetres, or 4¼ inches by 5 inches. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my Facebook group, my website where I have my patterns, and my Patreon. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.